What I wish I would have known. I ask
Yeah.
that question all the time. Did I know now? I really do think, first of all, just start because I started with it was called Fams United because I was all about saving families and stuff. And so if you go, I think there's like 3 episodes. um, but I think that you need to know who your audience is. Like, what do you want to accomplish and what is your why? And what do you really, is this a hobby or is this something where you want to make money from it? And so if you want to make money from it.
In today's episode of My Podcast Story, we have Charisse Walker, a remarkable author, coach, entrepreneur, and podcast host. Charisse is the voice behind the empowering podcast Unbreakable Mompreneurs, where she shares invaluable insights and experiences to help mothers navigate the challenging yet rewarding journey of entrepreneurship. With a background that spans from being a corporate executive to a real estate investor, Charisse's story is one of resilience and transformation. She has gone from relying on food stamps to creating a life where she could retire her husband, all while raising children aged 9 to 34. Charisse is not just a podcast host. She's a beacon of hope for many, demonstrating how determination and hard work can lead to extraordinary success. She's here to share an inspiring journey on how she built her show from the ground up and the impact it has on the lives of others. Tell us your name and the name of your podcast, and then what your podcast is about.
So, Charisse Walker, and the name of my podcast is Unbreakable Mompreneurs. So, it is for women who are moms that are looking to either start a business or grow a business.
Wow. Okay. It's a podcast for women who are looking to start a business or grow a business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing this podcast?
So I started almost 2 years ago, but I didn't really actually get serious about it until a year ago last February.
So 2 years. Okay, 2 years plus the 1
Yeah.
year of serious. I'm trying to calculate both
Yeah.
the years of seriousness and the years of not being serious with the podcast. That would be how many?
So 2 years that I've been doing it.
Okay. So we started in 2020.
Correct. Yep. But I was like talking, I just say stuff and then my VA would do stuff with it. It wasn't until February that I actually took it back over and I started doing it myself and doing like interviewing other people. So before that, it was just myself talking, but now I've started interviewing other people.
February of this year or February of last?
So February of 2023 or February of 2024, I started interviewing people and doing things myself.
Well, okay. That's 2 years. So when are we celebrating the podcast anniversary?
The creation, I would say it would be June of 2023.
Ooh, I smell chicken, I smell rice, I smell cake.
Yep.
Okay, June. When is the exact date so that I can drop by to come collect my own portion of the?
Okay.
When is the exact? Okay, you know what?
So the exact date? Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me find out. I will tell you
So
my
that's
exact date.
on that day I would say,
Trying to think where I would have it. Hold on one sec. I will tell you.
you're active on it.
What was that?
Is your podcast active on YouTube or you just do audio?
Yeah, it is. It's active on YouTube. But the very, very early ones hadn't come out yet. So it was June 15th, 2023.
Okay. So yeah, I'm writing it down. Okay. That 2 years, that's a big win. Like a very big win. A lot of persons they quit podcasting 2-3 months into it.
Yeah.
It just, and I mean, you know this podcasting is not easy as the rest of forms of content, but it's rewarding and it's fun too. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm 160 episodes in.
Wow.
So it's
That's a lot. Okay. What prompted the switch from the regular just recording stuff, sending to VA, and now being serious with the podcast?
a friend introduced me to Podmatch, obviously, which is how I found you. And so I found this whole new world of guests that were asking to be on my show. And I was being asked to be on other people's shows. And I was asking to be on other people's shows. And so that was this whole world of, okay, this really can be something. And every time I think, okay, I'm not making very much money, I should just stop, something tells me to keep going. So I love meeting so many different people around the world. It's been fantastic and a lot of fun.
Okay. When you mentioned that your podcast is to help women start a business or those that are in business who are thinking of starting a business or are in business.
Mhm.
Why did you start the podcast? Why did you start the podcast in the first?
So I had always been the breadwinner with my first husband. I had always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I never had the opportunity, and so I was the breadwinner. So when we went through a divorce, and fast forward divorce time, and then I met my husband, and then we got married. I had my first child with him. He's like, that you've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so why don't you do that? I'll take care of the family. And so right before that happened, I had opened up a college. And so I was the director of the college, and I got it accredited, which means that we get funding from the government to be able to run. And so as soon as I did that, I showed up one day, and there's this guy sitting in my office with my boss. And my boss goes, "Hey, Charisse, I want to introduce you to your replacement." And I'm like, "What?" Because my college was doing better than his. And he goes, "Yeah, he's going to take your job." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I had worked like 70-hour weeks. I had sent my children up to live with their aunt and uncle for a month so I could get this school accredited. So I sacrificed a lot. And so when that happened, I just thought, wow. I mean, I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this company. I was going through a divorce at the time, and I didn't let that affect me. I was working so hard. And for you to not even like you used me to get accredited, because the other guy was clueless. He had no idea how to do anything like that. And so to use me to get it accredited and then say, "Oh, thanks," because his best friend wanted to move back to Utah and needed a job. And so I thought, wow. And so at that point, I realized I don't ever want to work for somebody else. And I don't ever want to feel trapped like I felt where I mean, I loved what I did. I loved the students. I loved teaching. I love being involved in that. But the amount of hours away from my family were just horrendous. And so as an entrepreneur, I've been able to, first of all, make more money than I ever thought I would be able to. And I also realized I have freedom. So if I want to go to my kids' elementary school, if I want to go to their doctor's appointment, if I want to do something, I can. And so as a mom, I think sometimes we feel trapped and we don't know how to get started, or we don't know how to get out of the situation that we're in. And that can be for relationships, that can whatever, right? And so I started this podcast for women to find their peace, their passion, and their purpose. So the 3 Ps. And so if they're feeling a little angst inside, let's figure out why. If you have something you're passionate about and you want to teach other people or help other people, then let's figure out how to do that. If you feel like you have a calling, or I call it a purpose in life that you want to accomplish, then let's go ahead and let's figure out how to get you to where you want to be. So that's the whole purpose of the podcast. It teaches about how to scale your business. It teaches about how to start. It teaches about how to be a leader and direct people. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. And then also at the end, it talks about being a mom and juggling all that stuff while being a mom. So that's why I started it. I want women to feel unstuck and not trapped.
Oh. So it was more like you went through the phase and then you decided to start a podcast, like a podcast for you before you like went through that phase, and
Yeah.
now you get to share it with the wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, You currently, I know earlier on you mentioned that you had a VA that kind of I was helping you to like just do the podcast part. But
Mhm.
right now, do you still have someone helping you produce the podcast?
And I should, but I don't. And I think it's because for me, this is not my full-time job. Obviously, I have several other things that I'm doing right now. And so this is kind of my opportunity to, first of all, because, when you interview somebody, you might not always be listening to what we're saying because you're thinking of what am I going to ask next? And so because of that, or at least that's me. And so because of that, when I redo that podcast to edit it, I learn and I remember things, and I get to enjoy it from the listener's perspective. So I don't really want to take that away from myself, because I know if I just had a VA do it, I'm probably not as likely to listen to it from a different perspective. And so I wish I had someone do my graphics or something. And sometimes my son or my daughter will help, but I've cut down because I realized it was taking a lot more hours. Like I could do this full time if it was financially, if I was ready for that. But I significantly reduced the number of people I interview each week so that I can stay up with. I'm about 2 months behind, but that's good because if I go on vacation or do other things, it's still going.
So you're 2 months advanced.
I don't hear you. What was that?
2 months.
Yeah. Well, I'm 2 months behind. So like the filming that I do right now, it won't air for 2 months.
That's ahead. you have episodes covered from
Oh,
for the next 2 months.
yes, yes, ahead, yes. Sorry.
'Cause I was trying to like make sense of what the I was kind of confused. What does that mean?
Sorry, thanks for
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, no. Okay, wow, two
Mhm.
months. Well, that's like there's this peace that comes when you know that for the next 2 months you have it all cut. You don't have to say, oh, what do I post next week? When you are relaxed, you can relax well without thinking that okay, I need to post something next week. I need to post something this week. You can easily, walk your way, interview guests without any pressure or overwhelm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so far now, right now that you're editing, and you mentioned something, it gets you to listen to the episode again and again. And that for me, as someone who edits my own episode, I totally understand, and I understand. At first, when I started listening to my voice, it was I didn't like listening to my voice, but I was forced to. So I would have to like listen, and usually editing an episode, I have to listen to it again and again just to like find some parts to cut. And so I would notice like the areas like, oh, I need to like adjust here, I need to adjust there, I need to adjust. And that has been a great learning experience for me. Personal. What's your workflow like?
What's my what like?
Workflow.
My workflow? Uh, so I have the spreadsheet. I do everything in spreadsheets. And so it's when I'm done, then I just add the person to the list. And if I'll block upload a whole bunch. So I use Riverside to do a lot of actually so do you, because that's what we're recording in. So Riverside, I used to do Canva, but I'm like, forget it. I'm not that extra step was taking hours upon hours. So I do everything in Riverside and I'm able to edit because I love that it already has the transcript. And so from there, I'll upload it and then I do Canva. I use Canva for my thumbnails and I use Canva for the different things. And then I also use ChatGPT to do a summary because Riverside has the show notes and the transcript. So then I can upload that and I combine it with the person's bio and I do different things with that. And then from there, I'll upload everything into YouTube. I have that one as well. So YouTube runs a day later than my Spotify does or Anchor so that they're not being published the same day. And so it's a whole workflow that I show. Here's the link to YouTube. Here's the link to this. And now what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to do reels and shorts for YouTube as well. And then I'm also upload it to my Facebook page as well. So that part, I'm probably
Let
going
me
to have a
draw closer. I need to
what?
hear this. Yeah, and you're dropping some important tips. Let me lean in so I can hear everything. Yes.
Well, I have two different types of thumbnails that I do in Canva. And then, so one's like the catchy, type phrase. And then the other one's just for the
Okay.
Spotify,
Okay.
here's the
I
episode.
want us to do something really interesting. Instead of telling
Yeah.
us what the YouTube looks like, can you like go to the YouTube and then share your screen with us and we get to like
Yeah.
see what everything looks like. So that those that are
Yeah.
watching on YouTube they can see everything and then hopefully if they are women and they're interested in starting a business, you can go subscribe to our podcast or
Mhm. Yeah. And I can even show you like my Canva. Which would you prefer?
uh
Let me see. Can you see that?
not
Hold on one sec. Okay. So this one, I just posted
yeah,
one
I can
that's
see
going to go live tomorrow. So let me go to my channel. Sorry. So this one is like if you feeling stuck,
wow.
actually,
You
real quick.
23 views. Wow.
Yeah, this one I literally just posted. So this one,
717 views. What?
hmm?
That's a lot. The
Yeah.
short.
Well, and that's why I'm like, okay, wait, I need to start doing this more. I can't seem to move this. Hold on, let me try
What's
to.
happening? You could
I'm
go
not
to click on the videos aspect at the top instead of home. Click on the videos tab at the
videos.
top. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, so here's all the different things. So it'd be, yeah,
I think
break out of.
um just what I'm looking at. I think you. I don't know if you have a background in design, or you could get someone design a really
Hmm.
good like template for your podcast
Yeah.
thumbnail, like a very really good design. Right, that is really on point. You understand that? Not just like good design, but it has like the YouTube viral principles in mind. So that what you just need to do is just swap
Okay.
the thumb. I'll give an example. I don't know if
Yeah.
Okay. Which channel should we search? You do business, right? Okay, we could search. I'm trying to think of a female podcaster. So okay, this for the podcast platform.
So this would be like for Spotify, right?
Yes,
So
and
it's just
Apple,
it's
yeah.
the same template.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like this. But instead of it will be for YouTube. So you then swap in the picture of the person and then probably the text of what they say. And a good example of this would be um okay, Lenny's podcast, something like that. Just type in Lenny's
Okay.
podcast so that you see a good
Lenny's
example.
podcast. How do
Yeah,
you spell it?
Lenny. Yeah, and yeah, that's yeah, Lenny's podcast.
Okay.
And you click on the
The
yeah,
whole team is only like 15 engineers.
click on the channel so that we can see the a bigger.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, click on the channel here, the channel head, like
The
under the
what?
video,
Which one?
under the video,
Like this one?
Use a ton of
under the
Devin when we're
video. Yeah, click on the guy's avatar. That's his
Like
profile. The yeah,
which one is like over here?
this close to the subscribe button. Where they subscribe under
Oh,
the video.
oh, subscribe.
Yeah, the click on the guy's on his.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's not letting me do it.
Should be able to click on his face. Why is
Okay,
it?
let me try this. It's not
Okay,
letting me, so I'm just going back again.
oh, you scroll down, scroll down, scroll
The
down.
whole team is only like when we're building
Yeah.
Devin, working with up to 5 Devins
Why
at
is it
once.
I
still
don't
playing
know.
on?
Every month.
What percentage of
This
your PRs are humans right
I don't
now?
know where the
Given
audio
the
is
name,
coming.
we
Can you hear
expect
Okay, what was that?
like when you left the video, it was still playing the audio, so I was wondering where the audio was coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I had played this and then gone back over, and
Okay,
so I can see it
so
on the
so
right.
you see the
Mm-hmm.
template, right? It's the same. You
Yeah.
of course you work with the designer to work with your personal brand color and everything. So what you just need to do is swap in their picture and then you change in
Okay.
the text. You see how well
Yeah.
designed, how good looking
Mm-hmm.
the stuff is, right? You see now
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
everything's on point and it's really like you get. So that's what me I'm trying to work on for my own channel.
I
Hopefully I'm
love
able to
that.
design something.
More consistent. That I like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Everything's on
good.
point
Okay.
and it's not just, yeah, and everything's like scattered left and
Okay. No,
right.
that's see, good advice. Thank you.
So I think we should go back to your channel now. Let's leave this guy's channel.
we use a ton of Devin.
Go back to my channel.
For me, only like 15 engineers.
Okay. Let me just go.
What is going on? Okay, just click on
Let's go
your
here.
yeah. Okay.
Good. Okay.
So yeah, I think you have to click
So
on the videos tab so that you can scroll through all the videos at the top. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So have it more consistent is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
everything's
like.
more consistent, and it puts in of course your strategy is really nice. The titles you're in is like really on point.
Mhm,
Usually some guests with their titles they just put in their guest name and the episode number, and
mhm.
that doesn't really work for YouTube. Yeah, question is just the thumbnail.
Okay.
That's
That's
wow.
way easier.
And you
That's
see the
way.
thumbnails. I noticed that they are all generic template thumbnails and the stock photos and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. So some of them are like these are the real people, and then some of them
Yeah.
aren't. Like so, yeah. This one, she's the real person. This was the real person. So I started putting them all in there, like the real people, and then sometimes if it didn't work, then I would use other ones. So she's the real person. She's the real person. Yeah, all of these were the original people, and
Yeah.
then so yeah, we can totally
Oh,
change
that's
that.
true. I wish I had the temp. Oh, probably when I have it. But the thing is, you pretty cover sounds with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so if I do have a template, because I'm trying to work on a couple of YouTube thumbnail templates, right? So I would if I'm done with that, I will send you a link, and then you just go through the one you want, and you can customize the color, the font, and just like swap in the text and
Fantastic.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'll send you when I'm done with this.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how I used to have it, so I'm slowly changing because yeah, I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah, because,
So,
because the thing is, once you have a good template, right? You don't need
mhm,
to spend any time. You just swap and put the theme,
yeah,
and that's all.
title.
Yeah. Oh,
That would
the
save
YouTube
some.
channel is pretty exciting.
What was that?
So the YouTube channel is pretty established.
Yeah, it doesn't have, yeah, I'd love to have more views and more people, but I really do believe probably what you said. The other thing I noticed was making sure you're right, using the tag section in YouTube, and hashtag. So those are things that I've started. Okay. And then before you hit submit, you let it like you schedule it out for 24 hours, because I was told that you should let it kind of do its whatever thing. And so that's why I've started doing like Anchor right now and then YouTube the next day. So if it goes for 24 hours, you tend to get more, the algorithms can get more views for you.
Yeah, something
So
I'm thinking of. I've not tried it before, but I noticed it. But once it's what I want. One of those things I'm going to start trying out and see how it works. There's there's the normal clips we know, but then there's the long form clips. Right? I'll give an example. This podcast we just recorded, for example, I can say I can cut out the part where you explain your YouTube strategy, and then how do I explain this? It will be like 3 minutes long, and maybe before the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes, I can just maybe record a video, explain that, oh, this is it. Or I might never record a video, but I'll just click 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and it will be like that section would like go really deep on a particular. Okay, I'll give an example. Let's say I had a guest that came on my podcast to talk about podcast strategy, right? And the guests in the on the course of talking about podcast strategy, they shared how to get listeners for your podcast inside that podcast strategy, amongst many other things. Or they shared how to find what your podcast should be about. I could clip that part. Now I'm not talking about 30 seconds, 60 seconds clip. I'm talking about the way you see these horizontal videos now. I can clip maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 7 minutes, depending on how long that section, and then
yeah.
I would
Oh yeah.
just put it as a standalone video.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's like at minute this is what it talks about, minute this. So you're
Yeah.
having a
But
timestamp,
yes,
right?
yeah. A perfect example would be this guy. He does it. Of course, his kind of podcast is way different from our type of podcast. Ours is educational podcast, but he does it. What's his name? The iced coffee clips. If you search that channel, you see all the clips on
It's coffee clips.
the iced coffee hour clips. Yeah, hour clip. Yeah, clip.
Okay.
Now, if you scroll, you see some of the videos are like 8 minutes long, 17 minutes long, 9 minutes long. These are actually clips from the podcast that is about an hour, 2 hours.
Wow.
I don't know if you
I
understand
love
the
it.
new concept.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I've been like thinking of doing, and I'll start once I start editing all my backlogs. I'll start doing that, and if it works for me, I'll still let you know and see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Well, now I have to subscribe to all these things, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
You can subscribe to, that's true. I've never released a video on my channel. You can subscribe to my you can subscribe to my channel so that you just keep in
Yeah.
touch of what I'm
Great.
releasing and what's happening. So that when I do release an episode like this, you can also get to see. No. I'm not yet popular, so it will not be that. It will just be my podcast story. I think I have released one video, so I don't know if there's even a video.
We'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait. That's
Okay, no
cool.
problem. I'll send you in the when I'm publishing this episode, I'll send you link to the YouTube video of this episode too, so you can watch.
I love that. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's something else I'm doing is making sure that, whoever I'm on, I actually run that through, actually run ads behind it. So it promotes you as well.
Ooh, you run ads.
hmm
Wow. What's the ad strategy? Wow.
Yeah, that's on Facebook. I actually, because I'm on a TV show, it's called the American Dream TV. And so
You're on a
I
TV
pay,
show.
it's called the American Dream TV.
Oh.
So
What? All
I
the
pay
guests
people.
I'm just having, they are all on TV shows and TV network. What is going on?
But I have people that run, so any clips that I'm on or any clips that I do, they just run ads behind that as well to get viewers. So that's
But
something
you
else
own the content.
well, yes and no. I have to pay for it. It's an additional cost, but yeah, if I like the episode, then yes, I pay for it and I will own it. Yes.
Wow. Okay. If you like the episode, but sometimes,
hmm
what if in future, maybe 1 year after, you decide that I like that episode, you can pay for it and
Yeah, it's a very nominal fee, but it gives me the licensing rights to do it, so I get all of the footage and everything. It's great.
oh, I'm
Mhm.
curious, right? How long have you been with the TV show and TV network? You
A
can
year.
leave your screen though, and so that I can be seeing your.
Oh, you can't see my screen? Oh,
No, like you can stop sharing your screen. I think we're done with
I
the
did.
screen part.
Is it? I can see myself. You can't see me though.
Nah.
How do we do that?
What have I pressed? Oh,
Can you see me or no?
no, I can't see you. It's still on the sharing screen.
Okay, I'm usually really tech savvy, but I'm feeling really stupid today. Hold on. How do I stop that?
Is it showing you that it's still sharing?
Can you see the screen? Which screen do you see right now?
It's
Yeah, that's why, because I can see you and I can see me, but I'm small. Hold on, let's.
okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So what was the question I was asking before I said you had to share? Okay. So they run ads for your content. Yeah, that's nice. So the question was, how long have you been with the TV?
It's been a year. So
Okay.
I've done 7 episodes. It's every other month I do an episode.
So did you get to promote your podcast on the
No, I haven't actually done that. I should. Um, but I'm a real estate agent. And so what we do is we talk about the real estate stuff and we go highlight something in our community. But it's a perfect thing that I can start to advertise that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 30 seconds or so, and you just run a kind of like podcast, recorded stuff that's, oh, yeah. Are you a woman who loves to start a business or something? You know what your podcast is about, so you're like the perfect person to talk about that.
That is
And
perfect. So yeah, that's great. Thank you.
yeah, so you start growing listeners for your show. Okay, so the show you're doing on the TV network is way different from the one you on your podcast.
Yes, it is. So, American Dream TV is about it's realtors that go and highlight the lifestyle in their community. So, it's called The Lifestyle Show. It's Emmy nominated. And so, what we do is we go and interview different mom and pop type restaurants. We go and do, like, I know one lady, Hill Air Force Base, there's a big air show with the military, with the Air Force. And so, she's done that. I've gone and done, this is the Play State Park, which is a pretty big pioneers type park here in Utah. So there's lots of different things that I highlight and that we go to. So those are some of the things that I could absolutely, when I'm interviewing a small business, to talk about, hey, I also have this podcast and we teach about that. So
Yeah,
I love that.
you can tell them, like, you can actually get guests for your podcast. You can also
Mhm.
talk about your podcast on the, like, how do I put it
Yeah.
now? It's not necessarily talk about, but kind of like 30 seconds. I don't know. You can get creative with how you talk about it, but get people to like come to your podcast and your show that way. Because now I'm thinking you want to like be, of course you get known on the platform. If the let's say the deal or the contract for this network was to end, you would still always have your. I mean that's why you started your
Good. No, that's
no,
very true. I'm actually
is that?
this month I'm filming and I'm totally going to do this. So I will send you the episode when it comes out so you can go, I gave her that idea. And I will give you credit.
Yeah. Wow, that would be fantastic. Now, as much
Yeah.
because right now, what I've been thinking of is, I don't know, the strange thing about TV network and radio station is you can't really tell what the listener base is like. I don't know if there's a way to tell, but I don't think there's a way. Like they just broadcasting, and depending on if they won an award or any of those things, you're like, oh, they're popular, they're not popular. But unlike podcast or YouTube, you can say, oh, these guys they have 1 million subscribers, they have 1 million views on their video. These guys are really crushing it. But on a TV, they just broadcast. But if it's digital TV, it's different. But normal
Yeah.
TV network, you can't tell. So I was like, if you have a podcast or a show, you can, especially if you negotiate the deal well, you can actually like in the show you can talk about okay, like in your case it's not exactly your show, you understand, but there are
Mhm.
creative ways you can do some things in it. But if it was, let's say, your own podcast, your own show, you can basically be
Mhm.
saying, oh, you guys, if you love to like get full episodes and stuff like that, you can find it on Spotify or the website and stuff like that. And a lot of
Yeah.
persons, because the strange thing about the reason why I think it will convert is that people who listen to radio, TV, they know that they can't get access to it after that. Like the moment
Mhm.
the time
Yeah.
passes, that's it. Like it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So if you really like the show and you really like the content and you really want to like follow it up, you can then go to the website or whatever, or Spotify or YouTube to like check it out and say, okay, this episode I would love to like. Then you just search for the title and find it and follow up. Yeah. So that for me, it's like, I mean, it's like the way you are doing guesting, you're leveraging other people's audience. So you might as well leverage their audience.
That is so good. That is so good. Yes. So I'll give you some credit where credit is due. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Um, the the podcast, how much does it cost to run everything from start to finish?
Well, it's hard because Riverside, there's a monthly fee.
That's $20. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's that. And then you have Podmatch, which is a monthly fee. And then you have like Canva, but I use Canva for so many other things and like ChatGPT. So I would say honestly though, it's less than $100 a month and I'm making more than that just doing the episodes. And so, I mean, it's like there's a little bit of an earning. I'm not going to count my time because my time is a lot more than that. But because I'm considering more of a hobby, I'd say to run the show, it's actually less than $100 a month. Not very much.
Okay. If I ask you, right, uh, do you make money from your podcast? Please don't say.
No, I do. I do.
Okay. How do you make money?
Well, you're paid to have the guests, obviously. And then when I do have some people, this is where you monetize it because, like this right here, this book that I wrote. And so I refer to the book, I refer people. It's called
What's the name
Flipping
of
the
the book?
Iceberg.
For those,
Um,
you're pointing to it. We can see it. For those
yeah,
of us that are on YouTube, we can see the book. But those of us that are
right.
listening on Spotify and Apple, we can't see anything.
Yeah.
So you have to say the.
Okay, so it's called Flipping the Iceberg, and it's Charisse Walker. And so it's called Discovering and Celebrating What Lies Beneath the Surface in Your Relationships. And so something like that, we talk a lot about relationships. We talk a lot about making sure that we know what lies beneath the surface because an iceberg, 10% is above the water, 90% is below. So if you flip the iceberg, then you can actually get to know what your trauma is, what's keeping you back. There's so many different ways that I go with it. But that one, it particularly is about relationships. And so I talk about that a lot. And I've had lots of people buy the books because of it. So I'm a real estate agent. I coach people in relationships. So I coach people in business. And so I think it's hard to put a number on that because you're using your podcast to educate, but you're also creating awareness and you're creating clients. And so I definitely do not lose money.
I think two questions I would ask for people who are trying to like concretize and kind of like, oh, but we need a number. How do we know this stuff? How do we know she's not just trying to like overhype this thing? The first question is, have you ever gotten a speaking gig directly from the podcast that where you can say, oh, this person heard about me or saw me or listened to me from my podcast?
No, I have not.
Okay. Do you speak like is that like some persons they don't like they don't do speaking engagements. Are you
I
open to?
do.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is my goal this year is to get on what we call stages. And so, I mean, stages are let me think about that because so I was part of a publicity summit and because I have my podcast, this is something I'm working with. So I'm actually not going to drop names because it's not official yet, but there are some pretty big, large networks that I've been able to land because I have a podcast, because I have my book, because, there's different things. And so, and that's intriguing to them. So I do take that back that they haven't happened yet, but they're in the works.
Okay. Because I was about to say, but you said no. How come you're saying that? Because thank God you said I do take that back. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask that question or attack you. Okay.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah. I think a crazy idea that's just running through my head is
Hmm.
since your goal is to like be on stages for this, how about
Hmm.
look for you just be strategic and look for some of the like the key women that are organizers of events, um
Hmm.
people that like I don't know the events that are happening in your area or your industry. but people that are organizing it, people that like kind of like run those events, people that own the events, the movers and shakers of those industries,
Yeah.
and kind of like have them on your podcast and just like just normal, yes, regular stuff and converse, nothing special, but in the
Yeah.
process of talking and they get to like know you, they get to know that, oh yeah, this she does this stuff and she's into this thing and stuff like that. You get to build relationship. If there's
Yeah.
a need to you speaking, I don't know that, but like I mean, it's you get to like if like right now you're on my podcast and you've basically entered my radar. If I did not know you before, but now I'm like, oh, I know you. I've seen your book, and you talk about relationships, you talk about real estate, you mentioned that you're an American dream, right? Peradventure, maybe tomorrow, somebody telling me that, oh, that's true. I'm thinking of going to the
Yeah.
American Dream Network. Oh, yeah, I know of someone who had a show on the American Dream Network. Let me link you up with her so that you can she can put in a word for you or stuff like that. Now you've entered my, but if you've never entered my radar, man, I don't know.
No, that's a good point. And I have met people that they do have speaking circuits. There's one person in Canada in particular, and she's asked me to be on hers. Like I interviewed her as a guest, and then because of that, she's like, "Hey, I would like to have you
What are
come."
we
So,
saying? What are we?
yeah,
We are saying the same thing.
yeah,
So let's
the
let's
network.
let's be strategic. But maybe I don't know how frequent you do. Maybe we can do like over the course of the how many episodes do you really 5 a week?
Unless I, hmm
Ooh,
hmm
okay,
yeah,
okay, 5 a week. That's let's just say 20.
it is. So there's a couple that I have to cancel once in a while. We have to reschedule. So I would say that each month I'm doing between 13 and 16 episodes, and that's why I'm 2 months. I've
Okay,
filmed enough to give me 2 months. Hmm
okay, because if we're doing um 13 to 16, let's just say 15 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Let's just 15 a month. That would be for 3 months. That's 40.
hmm
So for
Yes.
the next 5 months, that's about 70.
Yeah.
Wow. So we could actually say, okay, we want to talk to 20 speakers or 20 events, people and stuff like that, and basically just have conversations with them and their business and their stuff like that. And you see the way I'm asking you questions and talking about, oh, how do you do your podcast? I'm kind of like, we're having a chat, and some
hmm
of your marketing strategies you shared them with me. You talked about how you TV show, and some of mine I've shared them with you. And if
hmm
I told you that I was going to, if I once I create the Canva template, let me write it down. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so
You
that
are amazing. I just have to say that. Like, I'm so glad that we got together and we were able to talk because you are full of phenomenal ideas that I was doing this as a hobby for a while. And now it's like, okay, how can I make this work for me? And
yeah.
so it's great
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the reason probably maybe because I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of podcast guests, so I've seen some
Yeah.
of the things I know podcast guests where all the clients that they have for their business, they've gotten
hmm
them from their company, from their podcast, and basically what
hmm
they do is they sit down, they ask themselves that who are the persons that would actually need my services? Now, this is not a coaching call, this is not a strategy call, this is not a sales call.
Yeah.
But
hmm
okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say I was a podcast growth strategist. I grow podcasts, I manage and I produce podcasts for people. And let's say that was what I did. I don't do that to but let's say that I did that, right? I would say, okay, who would be the people that I would invite to my show? Say podcast hosts. Oh, I'll look for people that are serious about their podcast, not just people who are just podcasting because they like to podcast. People who have business, people who they want their
Yeah.
personal brand and stuff like that. And then by the time I've done those featuring, the people that I'm having on my podcast are people. If I can have a conversation with them and they trust me and they believe that I can help them, then to have them work with me as a client is not really going to be because
hmm
they first of all they can afford my service. They need that services and it makes sense for them. Yet. So that's
hmm
why what if we swap it and now we're doing we should basically just talk to people, those who speak for it, those who organize it, such that what will happen is that in a way you would have built your network in the industry of the speak those people
hmm
that that make the decisions in terms of that
Yeah.
thing you've kind of like so that when conversations are popping up, things are popping up. Right now I already know what you do. Even though we didn't talk, this podcast was not about your business. I know what you do. Like I have a faint sense of, oh, you're a relationship coach, you a
hmm
business coach, and then during the day you do real estate
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and that's I know like But we didn't talk about that stuff in this podcast, right? And you didn't try to like pitch to me and tell me that, oh, buy my services or something. But I know like it just came up naturally in the conversation. And now that I've like, the thing about, especially in coaching business, people usually would want to hire a coach that they have this kind of like chemistry, somebody resonates with. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but that's why I think would like if I want to get,
Yeah.
I would want someone that I feel like not someone I'm like having a conversation is really hard. So that's it. Yeah, it's strange. I just remembered I had a lady recently on my podcast. She said one of her goals is to speak on the TEDx platform, to give a TEDx. Yeah. And I was like, why not just start giving those speeches and posting it on your channel and your podcast, and then like labeling it, like kind of like I went deeper. I was like, label it and then put TEDx at the end. I'll give an example. Let's say if you talk about let's say podcasting strategy, but giving like like a TEDx talk. Of course, you won't mislead people or do false information. But and then we talked about it, and she was like, yeah, hopefully maybe in 6 months' time she does get a TEDx talk. That would be really nice. Like I'll be like super excited.
Yeah. She should watch. I actually had a lady that runs the TEDx in Australia. And so she gave her whole strategy how you get on one of those the circuits. And so yeah,
Wow,
I'll give
wow.
you her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of this?
So hold on one sec. Let me see.
Let me see if I can send maybe the video to her after this
Yeah, you should.
podcast.
You should. Hold on one sec. TEDx talk. So Juanita Wheeler. So she aired on February 17th on my
Oh,
podcast.
oh, okay. What's the episode number? Does the episode have?
Yep. Hold on one sec. I will get that for you as well.
Yeah, that's true. You've invited TEDx speakers. Like it's just like just start building the connection, the networks, and everything. And before you know, you start speaking on stages, and then everything just starts. It's the
Yeah, it is. And that's what I'm talking about. I've interviewed a lady that's on General Hospital.
okay.
So it's season 3, episode 42.
Okay, season 3, episode 42. All right,
Yep.
that down.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll send it to her, and hopefully
Yep.
she gets something really valuable from the app. Oh, that's nice. Like speaking on stage, for me, speaking on stages, wow, like this period it's just when you speak on stage, you you get paid to do that, which is nice. I love the money.
Mhm.
You you also get like when you speak on stage, you build the perspective people see you as is not just, oh, she's this. She's not like she's a thought leader. She's an expert. And
Mhm.
then you can get to put it on your website. Oh, I've spoken on this stage, and people are like, oh, wow, that's true. And if you do a necessary arrangements with the committee, you can actually record your speaking part and actually have that as content, podcast or YouTube.
I love that. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I got some work to do.
And you can also talk about your podcast, right? Like it will just come up in conversations because
Mhm.
let's say you talk, say you were mentioning you were giving your story, right? And you're like, oh, I felt this, I had this, and this was, I don't know the kind of speech you're going. But then I started this podcast, and then it's not like you are like telling them to go and look at the podcast, but you're like, oh, that's I like this podcast. A podcast for women, and
Yep.
that's I'm a woman. I want to start a business. Let me check it out.
Mhm.
And then they're like, okay. And then you can go
That's
listen and stuff like that.
that's very, very true. I love that. That's so many good things.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. What will led us to this rabbit hole? I was asking you the question of if your podcast makes money. That was the question that led us to this rabbit hole. And then yeah, it was 2 questions I wanted to ask. And I was like, have you got in speaking events? And you said there are some that are in the pipeline right now, but
Mhm.
you just can't not mention the names yet until
Mhm.
yeah. And then the second question I was about asking was this TV show net, was it before or after the podcast that you got this
After, and actually I did use my podcast to pitch it that I have a podcast already. So
are
yeah.
you getting paid on the on the TV station?
This one, no. We pay, but we get sponsorship. And so it's something that it's an interesting little dynamic but you can get sponsorship, you can get different things, and
So
it,
you
it works.
wait. Do you have a co-host, or you're the one who hosts?
What was that?
Do you have a co-host for the show, or you just it's just?
It's not just me. So I'm part of there's 5 realtors in that segment. So they're about 5 or 6 minute segments in a 30-minute show.
Oh, so you have like 5 or 6 minutes in that
Mhm.
segment.
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
that's how every one of the episodes. That's the
Yeah.
format of every one of the episodes. Okay, so
Yep.
that 5 to 6. Do you own that means? So you can basically plug in things you want to plug.
Yeah. So again, you have to buy the rights to that, but they'll send me the segment. I have that. I can download it. I can use it for whatever I want because I've already purchased that. But if I wanted to have like all of the material, because it's a 4-hour shoot that's narrowed down into 6 minutes. I don't know how the editors do it, but they do it. And so kind of like filming a movie. And so if I wanted all of the material, that's an extra cost.
Yeah. The question I'm asking is the airtime.
Oh,
Do you own the 6 minutes of that airtime?
yeah.
So you can basically put the ads or the sponsorships you want to put in that.
Yes, I have to request that they do that, but yes, there is a space where I can do sponsorships, and I can totally do that for
You get
myself.
to pocket all the money,
Hmm.
or you share it.
Yeah. So you're cutting out. Sorry.
Do you get to pocket all the money, or you share it with the TV?
No. So if I sponsor it, I get to pocket that money. There's a different, yeah, I get to pocket it, and I can use that different ways.
What are we talking about? Money, money, money everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow, and so
Hmm.
you can also that slot you can actually sponsor it. Since you get to pocket the money, it means you can actually do your own ads and put it
Yeah.
for your own business and put
Yeah.
in that slot, even though you are not taking sponsorships. Which also means you can also take sponsorships from other people, depending on the way you want to
Hmm.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Hmm.
I mean, let's start leveraging, squeezing all the.
I know. I need to actually start being more strategic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, that's nice. I'm super happy for you. Like one of the things like is how you see certain persons they achieve certain things and you're like, wow, like, I love that stuff. And you're like because you how do I put it now? Because you kind of like what's the word I want to use? You kind of like love that thing or kind of
Really?
look forward to having that thing. So when you see people have that thing, you're like, I'm happy for you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully, maybe someday, maybe this year, I might get on the TV. Yeah, I have to be strategic about it. Yeah, I need to go to the drawing board and think of a plan of how I'm going to go get on TV.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, because I've been on the local news as well. Yeah, it's time to put a plan in place. I love that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel that for most of us, especially with the kind of content we make is like education content that's helping people, right? Of course, we also make inspirational content, but usually we're like trying to like solve a specific pain. Like yours now is business. Of course, you also talk about other things too, but like it's like how they can get the freedom they want, which is like the ultimate goal. But then it's through
Hmm.
business, right? Which is different from the regular entertainment stuff and all those. Yeah, of course, those stuff they have their relevance. It's different. That's my train. Okay. Yeah. I feel like we've already created the valuable piece of content, right? We might as well distribute it. And that's like the sweetness and the good thing about content is the fact that I can distribute my content to 1,000 platforms and not have to do any work in distributing it to 1,000 platforms, other than the fact that I just created the one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I might as well be doing everything I need to do.
that's true. That's very
Yeah,
true.
I'm so happy for you. Please, when you eventually secure a stage, let me be like I would love to like celebrate with you. Please don't forget to like
Yeah.
send me
No,
an
I
email.
won't.
And I was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
absolutely.
It's called for celebration, and then
I agree.
we'll open a champagne and and toast to
That's
wow,
good. No, that's
wow,
good. I love that.
yeah,
Definitely. Stay in touch.
yeah. Before we go, I have 2 questions for you. The first one, what advice do you have for someone who's probably not serious with their podcast, but they're a business person, they're not serious with their podcast? More like, what advice do you have for you 2 years ago? That's that's Yeah, that's what I want to say.
What I wish I would have known, I ask
Yeah.
that question all the time that I know now. I really do think, first of all, just start because I mean, I started with it was called Fams United because I was all about saving families and stuff. And so if you go, I think there's like 3 episodes. um, but I think that you need to know who your audience is. Like, what do you want to accomplish and what is your why? And what do you really, is this a hobby or is this something where you want to make money from it? And so if you want to make money from it, then what can we do to, like just today, I mean, the strategy session, because it used to be just a hobby for me, but now I'm like, okay, this is taking enough time out of my day that I need to now either start making money with it or stop because I have a whole lot of other things on my list to do. And so that's something where you really have to get real with yourself and say, where do I want to go with this? And I know a guy that, like, I don't know him personally. I know of a guy that he started and now he charges people $15,000 to come on his show. And it was like a year ago. And so he goes and he interviews all these big wig, big dog people. And now, I mean, they're paying to come on his show because he's made it such a big thing. So then I'm like, well, wait a second. I have like 160 episodes. Why do I not have as many views or what can I do? And so that's where being very strategic, like you talked about, is I need to stop doing this as a hobby and now I need to start growing it and getting it out there. So helping people become aware. And that comes from what I know best how to do is my social media and market that to people. John Lithgow, I think his name, he was Third Rock from the Sun. I heard him on the radio today saying, hey, I have this podcast about blah. So now he's going and he's advertising that he's doing this, like he's getting the word out to people. And if I don't start getting the word out, then it's going to continue to be a hobby. And I truly believe the people that I've interviewed and the people that I've had on, some great, some good. And I think that I owe it to them as well to continue to grow this. And I've met such great people and they're really good information that people really can use to change their life for the better. So that's something where you have to know your avatar and you have to know what you want to accomplish with it.
The interesting thing about building something like a podcast is the fact that at the end of the day, you end up building your personal brand. Such that, I'll give an example. I'm not really into the speaking industry. I know that usually the big dogs, the popular guys in the industry, let's say real estate, those guys that are like the popular, when they're invited to speak on a show, they usually paid more compared to now. Now, I'm not talking about how good now. I'm just talking about popular, right? Because because they've grown their personal brand in the industry, so people will pay them more for just a speaking engagement, just because they have this personal brand, they are known, they are popular, right? And which is a good thing too in a way because there are certain people that you would see them that they are coming on a show or a conference, and because of those persons, you go to that conference. Like, oh, she's coming, oh, he's coming. I'm definitely going to attend, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, even if later on you're like, oh, I don't want to do a podcast later, you would have grown your personal brand to a level where you can basically do anything. That's a sweet thing about personal. Like it's really good that you can say, okay, tomorrow I don't want to do podcast. I want to start doing this or that. And then
Yeah.
the audience will still follow because they've known you, they trust you, and they basically like you. So whatever you do, they'll just look at it too. Wow. It's been lovely chatting with you.
As well. I'm
Honestly.
so glad you know it.
Yeah. I did promise you Canva template and yeah, I would when you do an episode, I don't know, I would love to like listen to or watch the like your episode on the TV net, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll
I
send
know
it.
with is it a radio station or a TV?
It's a TV. So we actually, it's like I said, it's Emmy-nominated. So it streams on Roku. It streams on Prime, Amazon Prime. You have Tubi. So there's several different streaming platforms and Apple as well. So I can send you like a link. If you go to trying to think where it's at.
How would I how
So
would
if
I
you go
watch it? That's what I'm thinking because all those platforms, I'm not on any of those streaming platforms.
Yeah, so if you go to my YouTube channel for my real estate side, I'll send you a link. Then you can watch it because they're all uploaded there as well.
The full 30 minutes or just your?
So just my part, there's some of them that have the whole segment, but most of them have just my 5 or 6 minute piece. And I've uploaded those to my YouTube as well as my my website. So shockerhomes.com. You can go to my website there and you can see those episodes.
Please, when
So
you send me
What?
the link, add the name of the TV station so that I can go do my digging and add the time
Okay.
where when your show airs, like
Okay.
maybe every Wednesday or every Thursday, add the time to it so
Yeah.
I can go check. I'll find my ways to watch it. I won't see anything, but they'll catch me on
The most recent one is the airing on May 10th. This May 10th is when it's coming up.
May 10th. That's on
So
Saturday. Okay.
yeah,
Please.
we just aired the last part. I had them redo part of it. I wasn't pleased. So we did the filming tonight, and so we'll upload it. But that episode airs May 10th.
Oh, I'd love to see it and just observe and see how it is and kind of see what you. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Before I forget, where can listeners learn more about you and check out your website and
Yeah, so I have one that's currently under construction. So CharisseWalker.com is under construction, but Unbreakable Mompreneurs, which is the title of my podcast, you can go there and that can direct you to relationships, real estate, or business. But that's my podcast.
Okay.
And for speaking opportunities as well.
Okay. In case you did.
I had to mention it. It's there.
Oh, say it with the way you said it. It sounded like a whisper. Like say it so I feel like it's very important. Please, speaking opportunities, contact her.
Yeah.
You've heard about what she does, and you can check everything she does on our website. Kind of what is the word? Stock. Yeah.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Check everything and see what she does, and
Yep.
invite her to
It's
speak.
all there.
She speaks digitally or physically, whatever the case might. Whether it's a digital event or physical event, yeah, you guys can negotiate details. Okay,
Yep.
thank you so much, Charisse, for coming on the podcast. And it's you made it pretty fun to have a conversation and a chat with you. Yeah, I feel like we've known for a long time, even though we just met
Yeah,
60 minutes
I
ago.
know. Right. I look forward to continuing that relationship. So it's been a joy. Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of my podcast story. I am Wisdom Okonkwo, and I hope this conversation sparked new ideas and gave you a deeper look into the heart of podcasting. If you've loved this episode, consider supporting the show by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/wisdomhq. Every bit helps keep the stories going. And hey, don't forget to follow, rate, and share this podcast with another podcaster or creator who would find it helpful. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.